All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Aaron Swigert, meteorologist here at the National Weather Service in Raleigh, and I will be providing the routine weekly briefing for Central North Carolina today. And we'll be covering the period Monday through Sunday, that is February 5th today through February 11th, with the following Sunday. All right, so I wanted to go ahead and get started off with the previous 7 days of rainfall. Long story short, not a whole lot. So for the most part, anywhere we've ranged from anywhere between a tenth of an inch to maybe a quarter to maybe a third of an inch or so, maybe some pixels in there of closer to a half an inch. But for the most part, only very light rain has fallen across the area in the past 7 days. And if you missed it on Thursday, this is the drought outlook that was released last Thursday. I wanted to show it again here just because this is the first drought outlook for the state of North Carolina that the entire state is without any kind of drought conditions. You do see a couple different areas down in far southwestern, up into the foothills of the mountains there, and far western North Carolina and eastern North Carolina there, both in the abnormally dry. But as far as any drought conditions, the state of North Carolina is drought free, which is breaks at 24 consecutive weeks of drought conditions within North Carolina, and in portions of especially western North Carolina. In early December, there was almost 10% of the state that had extreme drought conditions, which made for the worst drought since fall of 2016. So pretty impressive how we've rebounded quite so quickly. But I did want to point out one thing here, and in the coastal plain area, if you can see my cursor kind of circling the area down here, the North Carolina State Office highlighted an area in the coastal plain, which shows a very limited rainfall over the last week. That there are some streams and swamps in eastern North Carolina that have started to fall below normal levels, so they'll keep an eye on that and see if any updates coming this Thursday, so stay tuned for that. All right, so what about the upcoming weather pattern, the reason we're all here today? For the most part, today, even through midweek, even into Thursday, we're going to be pretty much dominated by some high pressure lingering and building into the area and then over the area Thursday. So we'll be dry, temperatures slightly cooling as an area of low pressure off a couple areas of low pressure off the Florida Georgia coast there. Move away, we'll have a little bit of cooler air spilling in from the north as high builds in. So for the most part, very near normal temperatures expected, with temperatures slightly moderating Thursday and especially into Friday as the high pressure moves offshore. Down here on Friday here, in the bottom left-hand panel, you'll see a large low pressure system moving up through the northern plains, the upper Great Lakes international border kind of area. And as that system kind of pulls off to the east, northeast, that will be bringing our next chances of rain into the area. For the most part, it's going to be a pretty slow moving system until we head into the weekend. So we may see some increasing rain chances, especially in the western portions of North Carolina, maybe as early as Friday night into Saturday. But I think the better shot at some measurable rain will most likely be Sunday, when as this front is kind of deposited over somewhere across the deep south up through the northeast Ohio Valley area. There'll be an area of low pressure you can kind of see here, kind of rippling along the front there, and that may bring our better shot at some rainfall at some point this weekend. Sunday may be the better shot, but stay tuned for that, especially in the Thursday briefing, and we'll have a better handle on it then. For the most part, temperatures are going to be gradually rising, as I kind of mentioned, to well above normal on Saturday, by Saturday, with high temperatures as high as into the 60s or even low 70s, and our lows into the 40s to low 50s, which is, I think, anywhere between 15 to 20 degrees above normal for this time of year. So it'll be maybe welcome if some people are tired of the winter, but for the most part, it does bring some light rain chances into the weekend. Okay, I already kind of jumped the gun there. So I mentioned light rain chances, as you can kind of see. Today, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all dry. Friday does show some light rain across the area, as I kind of mentioned. But for the most part, that's going to be late Friday night into early Saturday. So I wanted to remind you that these graphics are 24 hours. So they go from 7 a.m. One day to 7 a.m. the next day. So this is most likely late Friday into early Saturday. And I'd say that maybe the better chances are out here across western North Carolina. closer toward the front may be pinned back over the Ohio Valley and Tennessee Valley and kind of leaking across into the area during late Friday into early Saturday. And for the most part, very light accumulations, if any, are expected. And as such, the severe potential for the next 8 days is, we're not expecting any kind of severe weather with this, only light rain of, for the area. And as such, also the excessive rain outlook, not expecting any kind of flooding concerns, obviously. All right, so heading into the experimental hazardous weather outlook graphic here, you can kind of see a couple days highlighted in yellow there, and that's mostly for fire weather risk. And you can kind of see the better day on that. And the image on the top right is on Tuesday, where we may see some, as the low pressure system's kind of moving offshore, we'll have a better shot at some cooler but drier and windier conditions on Tuesday, which may lead to some flirting with increased fire danger down across the sandhills into the southern and central coastal plains. So we'll keep an eye on that. But for the most part, that's really the only thing potentially hazardous for the next week. Looking a little bit beyond, going to the 8 to 14 day outlook, you can kind of see over here, this is the time period between mid-February, roughly, so the 12th through the 18th time frame. And for the most part, things are kind of suggesting slightly favorable for below normal temperatures, with also equally slightly below normal rainfall chances there and rainfall amounts for that time period. And the normals down there across the bottom for Greensboro, Raleigh, and Fayetteville are all slowly inching upward as each time we update these graphics. So we have reached the bottom of the dip, and we are starting to have our temperatures slowly start to rise, which may be a good sign for people who are ready for some spring. All right, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. So pretty much high pressure dominating the forecast through at least early Friday, and rain chances increasing into the weekend. Maybe the best shot on Sunday for some rain, measurable rain across the area, and for the most part, temperatures really just gradually rising into well above normal heading into Saturday and into the weekend. And then the only really hazardous weather potential is the increased fire danger potential on Tuesday afternoon. We're still kind of uncertain on if any headlines will be put out for that, so stay tuned for the afternoon update if we'll have that, and then read any discussions for that as well. Thank you all for joining me today. Happy Monday to everyone, and enjoy your rest of your week, and we'll see you on Thursday.